Now, as said at the top of the show, our topic this week is the new class size mandates enacted by the General Assembly. You may recall from a previous show we explained how the move to hard caps on class sizes may affect the job of specialty teachers like art, music, and PE. And this year we're already seeing some of that impact in the schools. And we are joined now by two teachers from here in Wake County who can talk to us about the impact that they're seeing in their schools. We have Gussie Marshallsea. Gussie is a visual arts teacher at Pleasant Grove Elementary in Wake County. And then next to her is Jazzmone Sutton. Now, Jazzmone is a music teacher in Wake County. She's also, I should point out, the president-elect of the North Carolina Music Educators Association. So she's been talking to some of her colleagues across the state as recent as this weekend. So we're going to talk to you all about that. I want to start with you, Gussie, first. The class size reductions and the funding issues associated with them, how's that affected you individually and your colleagues at Pleasant Grove?
Right, well, we're already starting to see an impact. We're starting to see composite classes or combo classes. We know that the restrictions are going to be greater this coming year, so we also know that there is more than likely we may be moved to art on a cart, which is limiting our resources and our opportunities to reach our children with differentiated learning experiences that we do offer in our specialty programs.
Now, the art on a cart, I saw a picture in the local newspaper. Is that already happening at your school? I know it's happening in other schools.
Right.
Basically, explain for viewers who don't know what we're talking about. What's going on?
I am actually not teaching art on a cart at this time, but the probability of it, very much so in the future. But there are other teachers that are doing that at this time. And basically what it is, it's like putting your art classroom, to make it very simple, in a shopping cart. So you are limiting the materials and you're limiting the resources. And you know, one of the things that come to my mind is the students love clay. It's a wonderful material for them to be creative and critical in their thinking, but we have to be realistic. We can't put the kiln. It's very difficult to manage.
Jazzmone, you're seeing those same kinds of things play out here in Wake, and what are you hearing about from across the state?
One of the things that I'm hearing a lot of is already those counties where the teachers are only seeing their students for half the year, and then they have to move to another school. And so the biggest worry is, how much are we going to be able to push back and say a quarter of the year for music and arts, a quarter of the year for your other elective classes? A lot of my friends that are in other places are on carts already. So where are we going to put them if we have to meet this mandate, and where are they going to go?
And we're looking at larger, I mean, there's a little bit of a reprieve this year as far as a little more flexibility still for administrators, but next year the numbers get tighter.
Yes, the numbers get tighter, and also the positions we have to fill them, and so where are we going to be putting those teachers? And it puts principals in the place of figuring out who do I keep and who do I have to say, we can't have that program anymore. There are also places, I've had friends who, they were in a middle school setting and they were teaching music, and because they weren't teaching enough classes, they had to take that position from the middle school and then move them down to the elementary school.
Gussie, we're talking about again, teachers having to push their classroom around in a cart, but really at the end of the day, we're talking about the impact on students. And you already mentioned that, but can you go a little bit further about sort of what do you see, sort of what that might do for the educational experience for the students?
Well, we know that our students love art. They love music. And there's a lot of our students here in Wake County and across the nation that they get up in the morning because they want these classes. Right. And they feel passionate about these classes just as we do as educators teaching them. And I think what happens is where it's a watered down effect. We won't be able to reach some of these students the way that we've reached them before with all the resources. And I think one thing that's really important about our specialist classes is it does build trust and relationships that perhaps these students haven't had that opportunity before.
Jazzmone, you don't see music as just an add-on, right?
No, it is. No, it's not. It's a space for all of our children to be successful.
Absolutely.
And that's what we love about what we do every day, because it doesn't matter where they start, it's about a process of growth. And so it teaches them to approach a challenge and to grow through that. And I love what you were talking about, that watered down effect, when we do have to, as educators, have to shift to making what this grand thing that we do in our classroom
Fit in a box.
it fit into a shopping cart.
Yeah.
And that quality of education goes down.
That's right.
And so our children are missing out on that challenge, that growth, that space to be successful.
Now, Gussie, before we started taping, you and I were chatting about your concern that you don't think the public really sees this. They don't really know what's going on, which is part of why we do this show.
That's right. and I did mention that my concern is my children are in their 20s, in their mid-20s, and I think sometimes what happens when our children are not involved in the public education anymore, we tend to not worry about it. It doesn't impact us directly. And I want, the public should be concerned. These are our children, and these are our future leaders. And these are areas where, as you said, our students can make connections.
Last word for you. How does this affect the overall profession, the teachers and music educators in general?
Well, when we wait, we don't get highly qualified teachers to be in those classrooms. When we conduce our profession to a cart, we don't get the quality teachers that we need to be teaching our students the quality education. And even if we do get those quality teachers, we're not able to give them the quality education that they deserve. Right. So it's for our students.
Right.
Well, thank you both for being here today. Appreciate it. Appreciate you helping our viewers understand the issue better.
Thank you kindly.
When we come back, we're going to talk to a school principal and a local school board member about how they are meeting the new class size caps. But first, see if you can answer this question. To prepare for smaller class sizes, which of the following might principals have to do?